All right. Hello, everyone. Going live right now. I'm just checking in. This is Bow and Arrow Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a long time, and we're going to be doing live today, checking in with all the signs. So let me just get my other screen up so I can see you guys on the actual video if you're checking in and can check in with your chats and all of that, and I'll pull that up as well. Thank you so much if you're tuning in today. Um, I know a lot of you are like my diehard watchers who've been with me for quite a number of years, and sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm away because, of course, life gets in the way and bills need to get paid. But here we are. And yes, it's Sunday evening. It's October 12th. We just had a really great full moon, right? Harvest full moon in Aries. And it was a real time of change, starting something new, time to sort of clear out a lot. I found myself cleaning up, rejudging my filming room. My cats are down there insisting on doing crazy things. Stop that. Okay. All right. So it was the time for all of us to sort of clear out everything. Full moon is a time of harvest. A lot of times, the seeds that you've sown come to fruition at that time. So I'm really curious what is coming into fruition. We're still in that energy, even though the moon is now waning. So we're going to do a love check-in for all of the signs. Now, you can always go to my channel and check in on my pick a card readings if you want to go a little bit deeper. But let's just see where we are today. Now, for some of you, what's coming in, what your love check-in might be about a situation, a new person coming in. It might be a development in a relationship. Whatever the case may be, we're just going to do a check-in today. And then for the rest of the week, I think I will be doing longer readings for all you Zodiacs, doing love readings. So check in for that. So let's go ahead and switch over to the split. I'm going to split the screen so you can see me as well as seeing the cards. We're going to start off, of course, with Aries, right? We're going to go through all of the zodiac, starting with the baby of the zodiac, that is Aries. So Aries, we had a full moon in Aries, and Aries is the leader, right? Aries is the beginning of the zodiac sign, the child, the entrepreneur, the innovator, the one who is willing to take risks. Strong fire sign in tarot, associated, of course, with the Emperor. Two cards fell out right away. We have King of Swords and Six of Cups. Okay? So a love connection, right? Coming in. Love check-in for you. Six of Cups energy. This oftentimes is an affectionate relationship, a relationship where you've built up a lot of trust. There's a lot of rapport. Usually there is a lot of history here, Aries. Coming in with a King of Swords as well. This could very well be a relationship that you have with someone, and some boundaries coming into place, right? King of Swords energy is fire of air. So Aries, you may be finding yourself wanting to put in some sort of boundaries, sort of, I don't want to say rules and regulations, but maybe kind of setting out structure for a relationship. There may be a relationship, I'm going to pull some more. There may be a relationship that you have that you've been growing a lot closer to this individual. The relationship itself has been growing deeper, right? You've been getting more rapport with this person, and you may be finding yourself now wanting to sort of structure it. There's the Lovers. Yeah, this is really nice. Bottom of the deck, what do we have? Star. Yeah, I'm feeling like for you, Aries. Okay, so when we talk about the full moon in Aries, and full moon being all about seeds that have been sown and the fruition of that seed, it almost feels here to me with this star energy, right? I'm gonna hold this up, see if you can see that. That star energy, I love that star energy of the card. This is a wish, a dream come true, something that you've been wanting for quite some time. There may be a relationship out there, Aries, for some of you, Aries, who are tuning in, that you have had a deep affection for this person for quite some time. You may have even harbored a desire, a wish, a long-term wish to be with this person, to have a relationship with this person that is structured, right? That's a relationship that isn't sort of open ended. There's love here, but it's a feeling here of you want to call this your person. You want to be out and about and say, hey, we're together now, right? We are, I'm with them, they're with me, that's a feeling here. A lover's going up to a lover's connection. And I think that might indeed be coming in for you. King of Swords energy, though, is a feeling that there may be some groundwork here. There may be some ground rules here that you want to talk about with this person, because there is a feeling here. Let's go to some clarifiers. Aries, there might be a feeling here that there's been love here and a connection here for a long time. The affection is there. This is the perfect kind of situation where you've already been friends with this person. You've already developed that kind of deeper trust that is the kind of trust that we all want in relationships oftentimes. Tower. There's a huge change that's come in. Something has changed. And so this is why I go back to this King of Swords energy, wanting to get things kind of straight with this individual, not just kind of like feeling what it's all about, but like, how do you really feel? How do you really feel about me? You as well, expressing yourself how you feel about them, because some kind of major change has happened that's really upset everything. It could very well be that your person has also gone through some kind of shakeup in their life and they're leaning on you. There's a moment here right now where people are being vulnerable. You may be vulnerable, they may be vulnerable, and so you're getting closer. But what does that really mean in the long term if you don't want to have hurt feelings? Knight of Wands, more air energy coming in. So Knight of Wands energy, yeah, there's a feeling of wanting to go with it, right? Wanting to go with this. There's an opportunity that has opened up for this relationship to go somewhere, but it is in the space of a huge change that has happened, some chaos that has come in. It's that kind of scene in the movies where, you ever see those movies where there's like this kind of crazy chaos and all of a sudden, people are thinking this is the last day they're going to be, on Earth or whatever. And then all of a sudden they're hooking up and it's like, wow, awkward moment to hook up. But it's in that chaos that the feelings are heightened, right? And there's a feeling here that this might be the case with this individual. Nevertheless, this is someone you've been wanting to have a deeper connection with. Star energy is telling you this. Now, Star is also the card for Aquarius. The Lovers is the card for Gemini. So, Aries, some of you may be dealing with an Aquarius. You may be dealing with a Gemini. All right. So, that's the end of the check-in for you guys for Aries. Let me know if this sounds like your situation. Aries. We're going to move on to, of course, Taurus. But yeah, comment, let us know. It's just a love check-in. It's not going to be the same for everyone, of course, the situation. But that was the story that came through, the message that came through for Aries on this love check-in. Now, later on this week, when I go ahead and do the love readings, there may be a deeper message that comes out. So let's go ahead and move on to Taurus. I'm going to take a sip of water. And once again, this is kind of a new series for me, like a new thing that I'm doing, this live love check-in. Let me know what you think about it. And I will, of course, be coming back with the pick-up cards, but I want to try to get this kind of live Zodiac all signs love check-in in on Sundays. So we'll see. Let's see what's going on with Taurus. Four of Swords energy. Wow. We'll pull the 3. Oh, bottom of this deck is a Queen of Swords. Can get that one in. There we go. Queen of Swords energy. So we had King of Swords in the Aries a moment ago. And now we have Queen of Swords. And she's all about honesty. She's all about laying down the truth. She's all about being, living her truth. Not having any masks. Not showing any masks. Not, I want to say, pretending to be someone else. So this is a real moment of honesty for you, Taurus. What's come in, of course, though, is a 4 of Swords, a 9 of Swords, and a 6 of Swords. Travel is involved. There's been some hardship feels like here. Some decision making that has been very, very difficult. There's been a feeling of anxiety, maybe making the wrong decision about a situation. You may have had to relocate recently because of a love connection. Six of Swords is all about turning your back on turmoil. For some of you, there's a feeling that you got away from something that was really toxic. All these swords. Whew. That's a lot of toxicity. Could very well be that you are now going to be seeing the fruits of the work that you've put in to get away from a difficult situation. You may have really sort of had to take your time in that. You may have had to be very strategic about how you got away. Two cards flipped over, Judgment and Ace of Swords, another Swords card. Four of Swords is all about that pulling back for a moment, and resting. You see her curled up almost in a, fetal position to sort of rest and be safe. There's a feeling here, Taurus, that you may have been in a very difficult situation up until quite recently, almost, right? And that situation caused a lot of turmoil, a lot of anxiety. There may have been a feeling of choosing between yourself and maybe obligations. There's a feeling here that maybe you felt you were responsible or obligated to handle certain situations, be responsible for certain people. That obligation, that weightiness may have kept you, feels like, in a situation, a love connection that may have been very, very toxic indeed. And so it's taken quite some time for you to come into your Queen of Swords. Again, that truth, right? That being really, really brutally honest about who you are, what you want, and what you require from yourself and from others. The Queen of Swords is a very tired queen because it takes a long time, a lot of battles to get to that sense of strength, where you are sort of unabashedly honest about who you are, right? You don't feel the need to hide it in any little way. And that takes time, that takes a lot of work, and that takes a lot of struggles to go through that, right? Now, it feels like you've come through the other side. Judgment and Ace of Swords. A whole new outlook is coming in for you. There has been some anxiety. Nine of Swords energy is a lot of anxiety, maybe even sleepless nights about this, maybe even second guessing yourself. There may have been a feeling of, did I do the right thing? I think ultimately that affirmation of, yes, you did do the right thing will come in. Why? Yes. It's always a yes when you choose to be honest, right? It's always the right decision when you are authentic. It's always the right decision when you are living in your truth, no matter how difficult it may be, right? And so oftentimes the anxiety that comes with that, of course, that's our feelings, our empathy for others around us, but we cannot be responsible for them. That is that judgment, letting go. Judgment is all about, like, listen, it's time to sort of let go of guilt for yourself, forgive others, that comes as well. And Ace of Swords, a whole new outlook, a whole new mentality, a whole new outlook is coming in for you. So Taurus, this is a really kind of, I want to say, the tail end of a healing period where it starts to go up, where the cycle starts to go up. There may be some residual feelings of sort of anxiety, residual feelings of sort of maybe second guessing yourself. They're going to begin to fade. This is a really lovely reading for you, Taurus. Again, the seeds that have been sown here, it's taken quite a long time for you to get away. Six of Swords is all about traveling. Some of you have actually relocated. You may have even moved. You may have moved places where you live, work, even moved to another town, another city even. And again, there's a feeling of freedom. Queen of Swords, very free. That Judgment card coming in, a feeling of freedom for yourself, letting things go, finally finding yourself where you should be at. feeling as though with that Ace of Swords as well, this new outlook, this new mentality that's coming in is one of real positivity. There's new possibilities that come in. Now that everything has changed, now that you've kind of made that decision, you're kind of coming through the other side. For some of you, this is really the end of a difficult time, and you know, it takes a little while sometimes to pull yourself away. All right, Taurus, this is the love check-in for you. I'll be curious to see what your actual deeper readings look like this week when I do them. Again, I'm going to try to live stream those as well. There'll be love outlooks for each of the signs, separate live streams. So check out my channel for that as well. So that was Taurus. Let's move on to Gemini. And while we're doing the live stream, I just want to bring your attention to these beautiful bracelets that I'm wearing today. Let me see if I can click over to the overhead so you can really see. I love these bracelets. These are from Otter Spirit. And I'm going to throw up as well the my affiliate code. This is Mystic Halloween bracelets, and they're the mini bead bracelets. And I love Otter Spirit, and I just wanted to take a moment to throw that in there because I love this small American company. They kind of reached out to me. They saw my videos, and they wanted to see if I wanted to give my audience an affiliate code, right? So because they like the videos and they like how we engage the audience comments and things of that nature. So, and I really love the company because they're an American company. They're a family company. And when I took a look at the bracelets, they were really, really inexpensive. So let me throw up Bow and Arrow Tarot 20 for 20% off of the Otter Spirit. And they also gave me a Bow and Arrow Tarot 30 for 30% off Otter Spirit orders over $99. Now the link is in the description. And again, this is the Mystic Halloween. These are the mini bracelets. Like they have bracelets. I think this whole set is like $79 or something like it's really not that expensive for 3 bracelets, right? And I just love it. I normally don't do this. If you're an oldie on my channel, subscriber a long time, I never really sort of work with companies, but I love this one so much and I love their bracelets so much. So check it out. I'm going to do an in-depth, more unboxing type of video on that later on. So let's go ahead and get back to the reading. We're going to jump right back into Gemini. Outlook for Gemini, air sign. Again, we're just coming out of the this passing full moon on Monday. It was heavy, right? Full moon in Aries, new beginnings, again, things coming to fruition. That's what we're talking about today. Like what seeds have been sown for you, Gemini, that are now growing, that you're starting to see the fruit of. And so with this love check-in, we're just going through the signs to see what each of you may or may not be resonating with during this period. Let's take a look. We have Hierophant energy, Star energy, Gemini, wow, and King of Pentacles. Heavy energy, big changes. And at the bottom, we have Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, my bad. Ace of Swords energy. Again, more swords. King of Pentacles, I love that. There's money. Gemini, you're about your money, right? Work here, right? King of Pentacles energy, Star, Hierophant. Some of you, there is a wish, a desire to sort of, I almost want to say, make something official. Some of you are going to be making something official in a relationship, coming together, maybe even getting married, maybe combining, right? Combining things, combining your life in some kind of way. It's a dream come true energy. Star energy is there again. So we have dream come true energy, Ace of Swords, King of Pentacles, a whole new sort of idea, project, ambition coming through in this love connection with the help of a, experienced business. There is money tied in to the fruition of a love connection that you have with someone. Maybe even, I want to say, making it official. Again, something like a marriage, coming together, a marriage, or the next stages of a relationship, the next level of sort of, taking it to the next level of commitment in some kind of way. Um, Again, a dream come true. Let's get some clarifiers. This is a very, I want to say, creative sort of idea that's coming in. This is like business and creativity coming into a connection that you have, because this is a love connection. Temperance energy, Five of Cups. Some of you leaving behind some sadness from the past, right? Five of Cups energy, Gemini, for some of you, there was a relationship in the past that still kind of weighs on you, I want to say. Temperance, you've been very careful pulling back here in this connection. Pulling yourself back, being careful about, I want to say, giving in too much, expecting too much, right? That's temperance, right? You're trying to create something special here with somebody. So there's been a real finesse here, Gemini. But again, it's been a dream come true type of energy, and very much so as part of healing from a past connection that you have been thinking about with that Five of Cups that's really been on your mind. Now, Ace of Swords, again, very creative, a new sort of idea, very creative, very ambitious Gemini coming in. King of Pentacles, there's money coming in. There's someone as well. For a lot of you, there may be, I want to say, some experience here in a particular field, maybe an industry that you're in, that you and your person in this connection are in. It just feels as though there's been some seeds sown here in this connection that is about taking something to the next level in terms of money, success, business, work, enterprise, right? Um, and it's all coming together now. Hierophant as well. You two really have the same ethos and outlook. This could be also a kind of project that you have with somebody that you're in a relationship with, but you also have that same sort of dream or goal. Um, in this project, in this creative project, very much kindred souls coming together. For some of you, definitely some marriage, out of a marriage, coming out a real sort of productive, I want to say, project, enterprise. Yeah, beautiful energy. If it hasn't come in for you, you resonate with this, and this is already something that, is close to your story, it will be coming in quite soon. Right? This is a case of all of sort of the pieces fitting in at the right time, Gemini. But it is coming in very soon. This sort of like burgeoning, beginning of a whole project between you and your lover as a result of taking things to the next level and being much more committed about your relationship. All right. This is Gemini. Let's move on. We're going to move on to Cancer. Again, doing love check-in. This is new for my channel. I haven't done this kind of check-in or format before. Most of you know me from my love readings over the years, and most recently my pick-a-card readings. Do check out my pick-a-card readings to see all my readings, mostly pick-a-card, all love readings, to see if anything may resonate with you. So let's move on to Cancer, the water sign of Cancer. Wondering what message or story is out there for you, for my Cancers and my collective, as a result of this full moon in Aries that we just had on Monday, last Monday. It's a full week now. Energy is kind of settled in. And so we're kind of looking at the residual of all of that and what's coming in for you. So let's see what's going on for Cancer. We'll put your 3. 9 of Cups. Oh, happiness. Beautiful. Page of Wands and Judgment. Letting go. Bottom of the deck. Ace of Cups. Love. New love. Some of you have found a new love connection very recently. And you're just happy. Happy. Very, very happy. Letting go. Judgment is coming in. Page of Wands. There is a feeling here, Cancer, of letting go of fear, not being afraid, just diving right in. Being very happy, very, very blissed out right now about your relationships, the people that you're with. Things are feeling very good, especially for you Cancers, because you feel best when you're around people that you trust. Family, friends, loyalty, trust, all of that. The home, coziness, all of that is really, really important to you. And right now, you have like the whole shebang. This new love connection that I want to say for some of you, Ace of Cups energy, absolutely a new love connection. This new love connection that has come in is one that may have been a little bit challenging for you, but you're not afraid of it. Like you're not afraid to let loose, to let go, to be vulnerable, to dive right in, to jump right in. You're being extremely fearless about it. I think because this relationship, this new connection that just came into your life is just making you so happy. Judgment is there. There's a feeling that this new connection also is helping you work through some issues that you may have had about yourself, some guilt, maybe some insecurity, some self-esteem issues. Just we all have them, right? But like completely letting go of that now with that judgment is really nice. It's a result of the happiness that you're feeling right now with this connection that's coming in for sure. So let's go ahead and get your clarifiers out and see. Wow, Two of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. Yeah, take a sip of water. Throughout, I'm going to have to be drinking because going through all the signs, I'm doing a lot of talking. So Seven of Wands. And this is why Page of Wands is there, that fearlessness. Something about this connection for you, Gemini, it may be that the world around you is not very understanding, right? One of those connections where you say to yourself, um, I believe in it, and I don't care if anybody else does or doesn't believe in it, right? I don't care if I have the approval of anyone else or anything like that. I love this person. I feel like this person is right for me, you know. And you just don't need the approval, right? May even feel as though like some people are coming at you with that Seven of Wands. Like you might be feeling like you have to defend yourself. You have to defend this connection that you found with this person. There's a lot up in the air financially, Cancer. There's a lot going on. It may indeed be that, yes, you are very happy in this connection, but finances and money are a struggle. There isn't a concrete sort of, I want to say, foundation there. There may be some issues there with the money, with the support, with the paying, with the juggling of bills and jobs and all of that. And this may indeed be something that's coming in somewhere in some kind of way that people are judging around you. There's definitely a feeling with that Seven of Wands that you're feeling as though you have to defend yourself, right? And so, but you don't mind. You don't mind. You don't care. That fearlessness with that Page of Wands is there. I love it. I love that. I love the happiness of it all. But yeah, this is a tricky time. And what's coming into fruition, I want to say, is just sort of this connection that you absolutely entirely desire and wanted is not coming without residual, right? That's what we're seeing here, that it's not coming without residual. One moment. So sorry guys, let me just double check and make sure. Oh, just want to make sure that it's running. All right. All right. And so with this residual energy that is coming from people around you, there is a feeling that you're having to be confident. You're having to stand up for yourself. There's a feeling that people may be jealous as well of this connection. Sometimes people come at you, right? And they're jealous. That feeling of having to defend yourself, or that feeling, sometimes people cut you down. They may cut your relationship down, try to make you feel bad about something or inadequate about something that in truth they envy. So that's, again, but you're fearless in this way, Cancer. And you are absolutely not going to let anyone sort of take this bliss away from you. You're letting go of some heavy judgment issues. However, as I said, right now, there may be a lot to juggle financially. You don't mind that though. This is kind of ride or die energy where you're like, listen, money is not doesn't matter to me. What matters is the connection. And the connection here is strong, is happy. The connection here is making you very, very happy. And so, yeah, you're there for it, Cancer. And I'll be curious, again, as I say, when I get into the deeper love readings this week, I'll be curious to see what your story says about this, because this is definitely something that's come in that you've been wanting, and yet you definitely are having to defend it. It's not that easy kept in a way, right? And so, yes, that is it. New love for Cancer. A very, very happy, happy Cancer. All right, let us move on. Sorry about that little pause earlier. I just wanted to make sure that the stream was happening. If there's any issue with the stream, please do tell me. I will try to fix it. I don't have my good microphone today, folks. I am so, so sorry. But normally I have my good microphone, so I hope you can hear me well enough. Let's move on from Cancer. We're going to go right into Leo. You Leos, yes. I love reading for Leo. I have a moon in Leo. Full disclosure, I'm a Sagittarius with a stellium in Sagittarius, Taurus rising, Leo moon. So I love reading for you, Leos. It's always like dramatic, right? So what's going on for Leo in this after full moon? We just had the full moon this past Monday in Aries, your sister sign Aries, your sister fire sign. So let us see what is going on for Leo. Your cards are already jumpy. And this is just, oops, a little love check in Four of Swords. There's been a period of sitting back, not wanting to make any decisions. What else is coming? The Chariot. One more. And the Nine of Swords. That's water on that for my, oh my goodness. Some regret there, Leo. Oh. And at the bottom of the deck, that happiness, right? 10 of Pentacles. The whole shebang. Wanting the whole shebang. Wow. All right. Leo, you pulled back. Four of Swords energy is a feeling that, again, when we look at this period now, this love check-in after this past full moon in Aries, you know, this is the fruition, the harvest of seeds that were sown. Now, sometimes those seeds can be sown quite a long time ago, you know, or not, right? Or a short time ago. But there's a feeling here that associated with that story, you took a break, you took a step back. Four of Swords is a feeling of incubating almost, resting, not wanting to make any decisions or any moves in any direction. And yet, now we have the Chariot and we have Nine of Swords. Chariot energy is a lot of action and momentum. There may be a lot of movement all of a sudden on a particular front that has laid quite dormant for a while. So, Leos, there's a feeling here. Let's get into your clarifiers. There's a feeling here that there is a connection. And again, you know, when we do the love check-in, there's multiple connections, right? You may have different connections that are at various levels in your life, right? Stages, levels, timelines. But there is a connection in your life, for those of you resonating with this, where there was a stepping back, a cooling off, a very long, almost feels like cooling off period. There may have even been some anxiety and regret associated with it. That Nine of Swords indicates to me a feeling of slowly maybe even coming to terms with it, coming to terms with the quiet that was there. And yet you have this heavy Chariot energy, the Star, wow, and Three of Pentacles. This heavy Chariot energy, this is a connection that you have secretly wished for it to move forward. This may be a dormant connection that you have with someone, an old fling, an old relationship, a past relationship, a crush. In any case, nevertheless, with that Four of Swords, there does feel like there was a connection, but nevertheless, it was dormant. It laid sort of untouched for a while. You may not have communicated with this person for quite some time. There may have been a lot of feelings of unease with it, Nine of Swords, of anxiety, maybe even regret, slowly trying to come to terms with, is this really like going to stay like this? Is this it, you know? And yet, Star, Chariot, Three of Cups at the center, there is absolutely very quickly some action happening in this story. Some new events coming in. Chariot energy, a desire to move forward with it all of a sudden. There is a push, there's a feeling of, I want to say, quickness, acceleration almost here. And Three of Pentacles, very quickly building. So something is opened up here. Something has changed. Either something has changed energetically between the two of you, or one or both of you have made some kind of life changes in your life that have caused this path between the two of you to shift, to change. It's a tapestry, right? And all the threads are connected, but any little decisions that we make in our lives or that we work towards, sometimes they can have these kind of like, this feeling of tracks suddenly, a train on a track suddenly changing, changing to another track, that kind of shift just in that moment. And that feels like what's happening here, Leo. You know, that it feels like it's one of those moments. There is a connection with this person that you have where the decisions that you each make in your lives separately affect the connection that you have with each other and the path. Dormancy, some regret, all of a sudden Chariot energy. Chariot is the card for Cancer. So you may want to check out any energy with Cancer. Star, also the card for Aquarius. What's really interesting is this Ten of Pentacles. It's almost as if, boom, the whole shebang happens. Ten of Pentacles is, health, wealth, happiness together. Completion, full circle coming in Leo. Almost feels like, whatever stage this connection was at, it has come to sort of a stage of almost completion, to where it was ultimately going to go. There had to have been some kind of cooling off period for some reason. I'm so curious what your love relationship reading is going to be like this week. I'm going to be doing my original love relationship, love connection readings that I have on my channel. You can check those out in the playlist in the Love Chronicles for each of the signs. Those are the love readings I've done for many years. In addition to the pick a card, check out the pick a card. There may be one that calls to you. But this is an interesting story. This is a development to a story that has been almost in hibernation. Sound off in the comment if this is what you're going through. If this sounds like something for you, sound off and let us know. That is Leo Love Check-in. So let's go ahead and move on. Of course, after Leo, we have Virgo. We're going to move on to Virgo, the earth sign. Let's see what's going on with Virgo during this post full moon, harvest moon time. We're going to see, oops, something flipped over. Do I take it? What flipped over? Page of Cups. Wow. All right, Virgo. This post sort of full moon in Aries. It was a heavy moon. I wanted to read Four of Cups. Wow. Read on that day, and the full moon just caught me up. And the final card, we have the Tower. What's at the bottom? Five of Wands. All right, so a lot of competition. A lot of competition. Five of Wands energy. Something has changed. Something has shifted. Virgo. Oh my God. There was a love connection somewhere along the line with someone. I think you opened up. Page of Cups. It was new. It was just in its infancy, just starting out. But something happened. Tower. Something came in. Some kind of fight, some kind of argument, some kind of dispute. Some kind of, I want to say, just strife came in between you and others and just turned off this connection that you may have had with this person or started to have. This is a crush, almost feels like. Four of Cups energy. Someone is not engaging anymore, right? So I wonder, when someone's absolutely disengaged from a connection that may have just only been starting. Seven of Pentacles and the Fool. Yeah. Virgo, this is mm, there is a connection, there's a connection, a recent connection that I think that maybe either on your part or on their part, this could be vice versa, but there was a real sort of leap of faith, full energy coming in, a real feeling of, let's try it. Maybe I'll give it a chance. Page of Cups, overcoming fear, wanting to sort of jump in and give it a chance, right? Seven of Pentacles, almost about to get serious as well with this individual, perhaps, right? Really starting to think about, what would the next step be? And then suddenly, Tower moment comes in. Some kind of event happened, changed everything up. If it hasn't happened, it just happened or is about to happen. Tower energy feels like there was a lot brewing. With that Five of Wands, there's a lot of strife and discord that have been bubbling and bubbling and bubbling. And then, bam, with that Tower moment coming in. Now, I don't know what the source of that strife and discord is because we're just doing a love check-in. This week, when I go ahead and do the actual deeper relationship readings for Virgo, we may see that come up. But there's something that built up. There is some kind of loggerhead, argument, strife, opposition that built up between you and someone associated with this love interest, right? Either on your part or on their part. And this has come to a head with that Tower moment and really just shifted the whole energy. Four of Cups is now there, right at the center. Suddenly, someone is not communicating. It might be you. You may be not answering the phone, or they may not be answering the phone, but somebody is not answering the phone, not texting. It just feels as though it's very sudden. But if you will look back, I would say that it probably isn't as sudden as you may think. With that Five of Wands, again, there had been some kind of envious, sort of competitive, sort of, I want to say, battle that had been bubbling even under the surface, may have been under the surface, may have seemed as though it wasn't that important, but ultimately, I think, and absolutely the message is clear. This Five of Wands led to this Tower moment, which is ultimately then, I'm going to say, affected the energy here. And that can happen. You're in a connection with somebody, it's so, we talk about ships in the night, that phrase, ships in the nighttime, ships can pass each other extremely closely and not see each other, you know. And that's really the essence of that statement is that things sometimes in a connection when you meet somebody, it's a new connection, there are so many things that are just so close and yet can just fall apart just on an energy shift, a miscommunication, or not paying attention to certain signs, right? And so here what's happened is with that Five of Wands, absolutely there's something that was going on uh, with other personalities involved in this connection that has bubbled over. And it's going to feel a little bit difficult because that full energy here, I think either it does feel like, I'm going to be honest, Virgo, it feels like it was you. It feels like, you're intense, you like things a certain way, Virgo. You're such a strong earth sign. And so that letting go, that full energy that we see here of taking a leap of faith in this connection, and then it's just turning around so quickly is going to feel a little bit jarring. But as we said earlier, with that full moon, the full moon is the time where the seed sown sort of harvest, comes to fruition. There was a seed sown somewhere in the recent, right, past of this connection. And if you search your thoughts and you search, you look back and remember how things went down, you're going to find that seed that was sown that ultimately led to this chain of events with this Five of Wands, this strife, this discord, this battle that ultimately led to the Tower and the change in energy. And that's where the message stops because this is just a love check-in. So we'll see. But if this is for you, right, if this resonates with you, the most, I would say, the next step is to find that seed. What is it that ultimately led down to this path and led down to this Four of Cups is really quite sudden change and energy in this connection. Again, it doesn't feel like it was a very serious connection because we have Page of Cups here. It does feel like it was like a beginning of a connection. Nevertheless, it was moving along quite nicely until it feels almost as though it came up against like boom, like just something. And it all changed, right? Which is all, we call that going sideways really quickly. Virgo, and yeah, I think it caught you off guard. Absolutely. But the lesson here is absolutely to go back and take a look at, when that energy, when the seed of that energy was sown. All right. We are moving on, Virgo, to Libra, the air sign of Libra. Give me a moment to take a sip of my water. All right, guys. Let's move on and see what this love check-in is for Libra. Now, again, keep checking in with you guys. We are looking at the first week after this heavy full moon that we had in Aries on Monday. I don't know if any of you had a chance to see it. It was visually stunning. And if I felt affected by it. I wanted to do a live stream on the full moon, but I was myself in the throes of the tides of that moon, clearing out and moving on. Nevertheless, we're going to see, because the energy is still here, even though the moon is waning. So, Libra, what is going on for you in this love checkout? King of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Ace. Okay, Libra, the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom. 5 of Wands as well. So we have that strife coming in again for you, Libra. But this time, interesting. King of Wands, Queen of Cups. Almost feels like, two very, very heavy energies coming together. There's a possibility here. There's a possibility of a connection with someone that is on your level, right? It's heavy, a heavy connection with someone. Not just like a fly-by-night, but sort of, King of Wands is someone who is extremely fiery, experienced, individual, creative, visionary, someone who has a vision. Not just someone who's kind of like, I don't know, I guess I got, how many years do I have? I guess I'll just plot, someone who thinks about their life, thinks about things they want to do, plans things they want to do, makes plans, It's rare. Oops, what fell out? Here we go. 4 of Wands and Queen of Cups. It's rare, nowadays, it's, I think it's almost something that isn't even taught anymore. Having a vision and ambition, being creative, wanting to do things, thinking that you can do things, but King of Wands has that in spades, right? Somebody who resonates with the energy. It's extremely confident, right? And I love that. Queen of Cups, Queen of Cups. Libra energy. I almost feel like this is you, Libra. You are absolutely feeling this connection with this person, feeling deeply, feeling yourself, feeling your emotions, able to sort of express your emotions. We have the 1111 card coming in. There's a seed that was sown, Libra, that now is coming to fruition. That is a very strong connection, a strong, sort of solid, meant to be soulmate 1111 twin flame connection with someone who's absolutely, I want to say, on your level. You're looking for something serious. This is a reading for a Libra who wants something real, something serious, a relationship that is sort of where you see each other, you know each other, you see each other, you care for each other, you love each other. There is a real knowing of each other and who each other are. So that deeper kind of heavy relationship. Ace of Pentacles. The opportunity for this, this new opportunity coming in. It's very, it's going to be very tactile, physical, earthy, real, right? Meaning sort of like, if you don't already have history, which I do think there is some history here with that 5 of Wands. We can get to that in a quick second before I wrap you up, Libra. If there isn't history here, it will come together very quickly and sort of tactile, materially, right away, dates, seeing each other, making plans. For some of you, this is a this is a connection with someone you've known for quite some while, but it is now suddenly taking a turn. There's an opportunity that's coming in here. You may have known this person for quite some time, but never quite seen them in this light. There's something happening here, Ace of Pentacles, where there are two of you as a result of strife, though, as a result, Five of Wands, as a result of a very difficult period that you both have recently had. And I would not say with each other, but in your lives, with people in your lives. As a result of those events, it feels as though a very strong, heavy opportunity has suddenly thrown the two of you together. And it's very much a kismet moment, a moment of either re-seeing someone you've known for quite some while as someone completely different and suddenly a connection, or a new person coming in and the two of you being thrown together and that connection being there. Queen of Cups has come in twice. And so there's a deep emotional sort of understanding here and communication, as well with the 1111 card. So 1111, we call it 1111, but it's a 4 card. It's a card, 4 of Wands is a card of stability and fire, mutual respect and love. And why we call it that soulmate energy is that, it's that strong foundation that happens very quickly in a connection. We talk about Venus and Aries here. It is a card for Venus and Aries. So we have that full moon in Aries recently. This Venus and Aries is almost like, yes, this new thing that's come in has come in love, but it's also come in such a strong and mutually sturdy, respectful, mutual, even way that it's one of those meant to be relationships, and that's why we all love to see the 1111 card show up in a relationship. But that's what we're really talking about, the energy of the 4, the square, the foundation. And so, beautiful. What can I say? This is a great reading, Libra. I don't know if it's already happened for you. If it has, sound off in the comments. Let us all know. But excuse my squeaky chair and my sip of water. But this is heavy. And what I love about it is that it's coming in an unexpected way. Again, that 5 of Wands speaks of out of chaos, out of strife, out of discord, arguing, some kind of competition even, right? Battle that you may have had with someone around you, someone else has had around you. Out of all of that is springing this very serious, very real material opportunity with someone, with a King of Wands. Again, these readings, of course, can be vice versa. So, Libra, I love it. This is you. All right, so let's call it your reading. We are going to, of course, move on to Scorpio. Now, if you're new to my channel, this is a new format. I haven't done this before, just maybe once or twice, the love check-in. I wanted to get back into doing the live streams. So this is Sunday. I'm going to hopefully be doing these love check-ins every Sunday. So do check back with me. Consider subscribing. If you're a regular on my channel, you know that this is new. This is not regular format. Nevertheless, I love doing all of that. I love changing it up. We're coming into fall and winter. It's a beautiful period. And as I say, I want to do more of the live streams. Again, if you see my beautiful bracelets, Otter Spirit, I do have a discount code for them. I'm going to be uploading a video about that as well. Beautiful company that I keep mentioning throughout the video with these gorgeous bracelets. And they have this Mystic Halloween bracelet set, which is this one. So, moving on to Scorpio. Water. Heavy, 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 heavy. All right, Scorpio. What's going on, Scorpio? Let's move on to your love check-in. We are checking in all the signs, working through from Aries to Pisces. We're now on Scorpio. Checking in how this latest full moon, in Aries this past Monday affected you and what is coming into fruition in your life. What's flipped over? We have death and rebirth. This is your card. So this is how it goes with you, Scorpio, especially on my channel. Your readings always bring, a level of heat and connection. So death and rebirth, your own card showing up in your reading right now. So yeah, you're going through a lot of heavy stuff. Page of Wands, fearlessness, and Nine of Pentacles, reaping the rewards. Death and rebirth and the star. Will that focus for you? The star. Star energy is Aquarius. So a wish come true. Scorpio, this is interesting because it's a love check-in. It's a wish come true. It's a full change that's happened. Something has died to be reborn. You've gone through a very significant change, and there is, I'm going to say, some connection in your life. Let's begin to shuffle the clarifiers. That has come in as a result of you sort of letting go of your fears, your anxieties. This is a reading definitely for a Scorpio that has gone through some change. You may have resonated up. You may have, because that the rebirth for you means you may have even resonated up for you, for yourself, Scorpio, gone through a major lesson recently. So when we talk about a love check-in, there is some kind of connection in your life that has really given you a lesson, I want to say, in a way. It doesn't feel like a connection with someone, though. This love check-in feels like healing, like you're alone, because Nine of Pentacles energy is solitary. It's hermited energy. It's going at it alone. It's loving yourself. It's blessings coming in after a long period of hard work. There is a feeling here that your love check-in is all about you being comfortable with yourself on your own, coming through, letting go, healing from where you were, whatever stage you were at up until now. Not being afraid to be alone, not being afraid to be on your own, rather, not alone, but on your own, right? Yeah, so this love check-in for you, Scorpio, is one of real healing. Lovers, Queen of Cups is flipped over. Yep. So again, interesting, because Lovers comes in, Gemini, card for Gemini. Some of you are dealing with a Gemini. And yet that Nine of Pentacles is there as well, that letting go, Queen of Cups. Yeah, for some of you, Scorpio, that, again, you may have let go of, you let go, healed, rejuvenated, reinvented, gone through a death and rebirth as a result of a relationship from the past or any kind of love connection from the past. Because now you are fully sort of happy in your own skin, making your own money. That Nine of Pentacles energy is very sort of solo entrepreneur money energy. You know, enjoying the fruits of your labor in your own garden without anyone else around, because it was all you who did it. This is definitely a hardworking Scorpio who may have even had to let go of a connection or relationship or, you know, something like that in the past to get what you want now. Nevertheless, though, Lovers and Queen of Cups is coming in. And star energy is there. Aquarius showing up, Gemini showing up, and of course yourself showing up. Some of you dealing with another Scorpio. But that star energy is there, and it does feel as though that desire for the right connection has never died. That is your ultimate wish, especially we're talking about love check-in. And there is an opportunity here. It almost feels as though just on the heels of healing and coming out of being sort of okay, you know, being on your own, healing from a breakup perhaps that may have happened years ago, months ago, weeks ago, living your best life, you know, something is coming in recently that may be a connection for you. And this recent thing that's coming in is something that it's making you feel quite deeply, Queen of Cups. It's making you feel like that maybe you can express yourself emotionally. But again, this is coming in at a time where you have been spending quite a while sort of on your own, living your best life, healing from whatever relationship ended previous to now, but never really quite giving up on the desire and the hope for something new being seeded. And it feels like something new being seeded now. So this is a message, a love check-in for Scorpio that has probably been quite happily on their own for quite some time. Doing very well on their own, really solidified their own sort of space, self-esteem, energy, learned a lot, definitely resonated up in learning from their past relationships. And yet, in this space of real freedom and strength and confidence, there is something new creeping in, lover's energy creeping in. And it is something that speaks to a secret wish or desire of yours that you've had for quite some time. So there's a wish fulfillment coming in with a new connection that's coming into you. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to call that. This is yours. Let's move on to Sagittarius. All right, guys, we are doing the love check-in for all the signs. Just to see where you guys are all at this week after this full moon in Aries energy that we had this last Monday, almost a full week ago. So let's check in with Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Now, this full moon was in your sister sign, Aries. And so, yeah, I wonder, I am a Sagittarius. I'll tell you, I was affected in very strongly by this full moon. A lot of clearing out, cleaning, moving, changing things around physically, a lot of thinking, planning, getting the next steps and projects together. It was deep. So I wonder how it affected the rest of you out there. So we're going to pull it out. Again, this is just a quick love check-in. I'm going to be doing some deeper love readings later on this week. What do we have flipping over for you? 6 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups. Wow. And one more. Page of Swords. Interesting. At the bottom of the deck, we have that 2 of Swords. Decision. Money, a decision. Yes, yes, yes. For you, a love check-in. 8 of Cups. There is a relationship you turned your back on. That you happily turned your back on. That you kind of like walked away from, Sagittarius. And it was like, yeah, I'm good. Right? This relationship no longer suits me. No longer serves me. I'm moving on. And something has changed. Page of Swords energy, 6 of Pentacles has come in. Let's start shuffling the clarifiers. Page of Swords, there's something has changed. Some kind of confidence or some kind of outlook, some kind of thought, some kind of positivity about this relationship. Page of Swords is like the beginning of communication again. Some of you Sagittarius have begun communicating with someone that you've left in the past, that you walked away from, it feels like. 6 of Pentacles is coming in. There is a feeling also of money and generosity and a balance in money suddenly showing up. Something may have changed, Sagittarius, in a connection that you have. There is a choice. 2 of Swords coming in for you. Death. Something changed. And 4 of... All right, Saggy. Sometimes some connection you have with somebody changed drastically. Something ended. Something died. This relationship absolutely died. A connection that you walked away from. But this is the thing. It almost feels as though this death that happened here, this walking away, I think at the time you felt like it was well and truly over. Like really sort of, a permanent sort of like, yeah, I'm done. I'm moving on. It's well and truly dead. And yet it feels as though it's been rejuvenated. Almost in a way, Sagittarius, because you're coming in with a 4 of Wands. Right? 4 of Wands energy, I just spoke about that a minute ago in I think it was Leo. 4 of Wands energy, a strong coming together, next level, next stage, right? Happy 11-11 soulmate energy here. This is a connection with somebody that you may have thought it was over, as I said, but this story still isn't over. But it changed very, very drastically. Death. It isn't what it was before. It absolutely isn't what it was before, and yet the connection is still there. It cannot be sort of pulled apart. There's an issue with money that's coming in. There may have been an issue with money before in this connection, but that issue with money is sort of completely balanced out, or is being completely balanced out. In any case, there is new communication coming in, and there's going to be a choice that you are faced with this individual, with this connection, with this person, with this tie. There's a soul tie here that is just not done with you, or you are not done with it, even though you thought you were. I will say this though, Sagittarius, this connection though, this next stage, or this next sort of incarnation of this connection is completely different than what it was ever before, because it's gone through a complete death. Again, death is the card for Scorpio. So some of you may be dealing with someone who has scorpionic energy. But nevertheless, there is a heavy transition that happened here in this connection, Sagittarius. And what was once dead, I want to say communication wise, is no longer dead. It's just that simple. It's like, it may even be Page of Swords. We're talking about like maybe a text, letter, or, somehow some kind of communication. A friend of a friend mentions that they saw a friend of a friend who saw, they asked. One of those things. Very, very small inklings of communication in something that you completely walked away from. That's like, I'm pulling it up with these two cameras. Normally I don't, but the Eight of Cups I have to show you, like, turned around, was like, bye, I'm good. I don't think I'm ever going to need this again. And yet, it comes right back. Here it is. It may be many years, maybe months. It does feel like there's been quite some time here of you having walked away, I want to say, Sagittarius. And yet, Page of Swords, Six of Pentacles. Somebody, definitely, there is a huge change here with money, definitely, in terms of a leveling up of money, maybe for you and them, right? Both of you changed. Something about the way you work, the money that you make has changed, and it's at a more even, equitable place. There's something that shifted about the balance here when it comes to finances and foundational sort of wealth and the ability to have this connection. And wealth and that power dynamic between who has what was a factor in this connection. Again, completely changed around. Completely changed. But yeah, Sagittarius, some of you, if you haven't already, you're going to be hearing from somebody you thought you weren't going to hear from. Someone, or you may be reaching out to someone you never saw yourself reaching out to. Again. Yeah, something about the energy here with this person has completely shifted. And there's something new coming in with them. All right, guys. So let us move on now to Capricorn. That was Sagittarius. We're going to move on now to Capricorn. All right. So this has been the live love check-in. Again, if you're new to my channel, this is very different for me. Normally, I don't do these live love check-ins. This is something new I want to start doing on Sundays. So if you're interested, definitely check me out. Become a member. Subscribe to my channel. Check me out next Sunday. I'm going to try to have these live love check-ins every Sunday at 8 o'clock. If you're regular on my channel, you know I don't do these. So if you like it, comment. Let me know what you think. There's any other topics, but I'm going to do the live love check-in on Sundays. We'll see if we do another check-in on Saturdays. Again, I'll be back with Pick a Card, but there is a deep well of Pick a Card on my Pick a Card series playlists. You can go in and check out all the episodes and find one that resonates for you for the Pick a Card messages. Also this week, I'll be back with deeper love connection readings. All right, Capricorn, the earth sign. Let's get into your love check-in for this week. This past week after the full moon in Aries, 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords. Wow. And the Empress. The bottom of the deck for you, we have 4 of Swords for you. So again, 4 of Swords energy is changing, changing up your energy, pulling back from the field, from the battle, taking a moment to rest, taking a moment to see what your next move is, right? So there's a pause. there's been a pause here somewhere along the line, Capricorn. Nine of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, the Empress. Capricorn, this is a reading for you who have been working so hard, and I want to laugh because it's always that with you, Capricorn. It's always this hard working. It's always this like work, 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 make that money, being on your own, being working even oftentimes relationships to the side so that you can work. Nine of Pentacles showed up for the last one. Again, we're talking about the last couple of readings, Nine of Pentacles showing up. We're talking about somebody who's very happy in their own skin, happy in their own space, happy to be single, enjoy their garden, the fruits of their labor, Nine of Pentacles energy are the rewards that come in oftentimes for somebody who's had to do a lot of work on their own, and the rewards come in. Oftentimes they are enjoying that fruit of their labor on their own in the garden. 9 being the number of the hermit. This is a solitary person, but happy and oftentimes ambitious. When you're ambitious, you have plans, you have vision. Not everybody can come with you on that ride, and oftentimes people who have this kind of outlook on life, they do find themselves celebrating on their own because not everyone can keep up. Not everyone can be on that ride with you. Oftentimes, you have to let people go or, move past them to put that work in and that effort in. Nine of Pentacles is heavy rewards. A lot of money coming in Capricorn. Nevertheless, this is a love check-in. And it almost feels as though that this is a relationship somewhere along the line where you have maybe not been able to put as much in, step back from that relationship because you have been working on your own vision, your own sort of space, your own, I want to say enterprise. Eight of Swords is there. The Empress is there, though. We're talking about a feeling maybe of saying, having to face up to Capricorn, you saying that, it wasn't me, I couldn't help it, I had to work. Eight of Swords talks about taking responsibility. So there may be a relationship in your life where now is the time where you may be forced to take a little bit of responsibility for some of the decisions that you may have made in that relationship, right? Empress energy is there. Some of you got somebody pregnant. I'm going to keep it. Four of Pentacles. Some of you are expecting. Some of you are pregnant, got somebody pregnant. Empress energy has come in. So on the one side, we have this singular solitary energy here. And yet Empress is all about creativity, another level of creativity, bonding, oftentimes indicating a child, project, any kind of new creative endeavor. But here I do almost feel like some of you, Capricorn, are dealing with a possible child coming into a relationship, a connection, a situation where you were not at all expecting it. Four of Pentacles, there's a feeling of not having enough money. Suddenly your money being really, really sort of, I want to say, jeopardized. Empress, Nine of Pentacles, Four of Swords. Capricorn, some of you are being forced to take responsibility in a situation that involves someone else, that involves something that you've created with someone else. If that be a child, a business, a project. Some of you, it's a child. Absolutely. And it involves taking responsibility in such a way that finances may be affected. Now, I'm not saying that you didn't want to take responsibility, but this message is coming in pretty loud and clear here that somewhere along the line, this reading is for a Capricorn that may not have known this was happening, may have been caught off guard, may have been a little bit sort of stepping back, maybe in a little bit of denial. But this is coming. This is happening. Yeah. And I want to say for some of you Capricorn, King of Pentacles is coming in to step in to help you. May have individuals in your life that can help you. But there is a financial sort of pressure as a result of a next stage of a relationship that you're in coming in. Seeds, literally, fruition of seeds coming in, literally. So next stage in a relationship that is really all about security, financial security, being able to sustain your not only yourself but others. Um, there is a feeling of what you have being threatened, a feeling of being threatened in that way. Four of Pentacles, do I have enough? Is what I accrued going to be enough? There's no feeling here that you don't want this or that you're trying to run from anything. It just feels like there's a heavy layer of responsibility coming and being added into a relationship that you just weren't either aware of or ready for, or that is catching you off guard, or that is just changing your life in a very significant way, in a way that you never expected, because there is very much a feeling, a playgirl, playboy feeling here with this Nine of Pentacles. That this is a Capricorn who's been used to sort of having their way, living their life on their own, and now you are very much in a situation where you are going to be asked that you will have to think of somebody else in a very, significant way, financially responsible way. A lot of pentacles coming in. All right, Capricorn, let us move on. That's all I can say about that. It is what it is, right? If that was a very specific message. If you resonate with that, you want to share that, let the collective know. Again, as I say, just a feeling of like suddenly a heavy level of responsibility coming in into a connection. And yeah, maybe out of love and all of that. There's nothing denying the love there, the connection there. But this last love check-in for Capricorn was all about the money. All right, support, financial support. Let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius, you are next. All right, Aquarius. Checking in with you, love check-in for this week. This full week after the full moon in Aquarius that we had this past Monday. Heavy full moon. So we're just doing a love check-in. As I say, I'm going to try to be doing this each week. So let's see what Aquarius has. We have another air sign. Let me take a moment to take a sip of my water. And again, I do apologize. I don't have my great microphone today. So I hope the audio is okay. I will have my good microphone next time, so it should sound a little bit more, zhuzhed up. Let's get into it. Aquarius, what's going on for you with this love check-in? Eight of Pentacles, a lot of work again. Queen of Swords, honesty, and Page of Wands, more fearlessness. Again, talking about Aquarius, again, sort of overcoming fears. What do we have? Seven of Swords. Wow, interesting. Seven of Swords is an interesting one because we're talking about treachery, thief in the night. Seven of Swords is a toxic swords card. These are people, it's sort of deception, working against you, actively, individuals actively trying to throw problems in the way, difficulties, work against you. Seven of Swords, the thief in the night. It can also be the card for, I would say, not oftentimes being able to get what you want, futility, the futility of taking shortcuts, the futility of cheating, and the futility of coming from a dark place in your motivation. Oftentimes you don't get your desires. All right, Aquarius, let's get right into it. Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Page of Wands. There's a lot of work here in this love check-in. You've been putting in a lot of work. I'm going to say this feeling, as I said to, let's get to clarify, this is a feeling that something is going on at work, like legitimately at your job, right? Eight of Pentacles. This Aquarius is a reading for an Aquarius that works so much that any kind of connection that is happening for you right now, I feel like this is a connection that's also happening at your job, right? Your job encompasses your whole life, and therefore your love connections are coming out of that job as well. Eight of Pentacles is there. There's a labor of love, a love of labor for you, Aquarius. So you're very mission-centered when it comes to the work that you do. And so it almost makes sense that any love connection or love event comes out of that. Very, very deeply honest, and a feeling of sort of letting go and being fearless coming in. Nevertheless, oh, Seven of Swords flipped over again. Nine of Wands. Ooh. Something is going on where people are working actively against you when it comes to your area of love, to your love life, your connections in love, your love, the ability to make a particular connection. Something is happening here. All right, that it almost feels as though you've been in a place where you've been quite stuck. It feels like this may be a reading for an Aquarius where you feel like you've been kind of stuck in the woods for a while now. You know, unable to sort of find your way to where you want to be at. Obstacles seem to be consistently thrown in your way when it comes to making a connection, making that love connection with someone. There's a feeling that, with that Queen of Swords, Page of Wands, fearlessness and honesty is not your issue. It almost feels as though, Aquarius, that you have been extremely honest with whoever and willing. There's no fear here to me of being vulnerable on your part, or like a fear of wanting to go deeper. People run from commitment. There's no feeling that you are the type of person to run from commitment at all, or to hide who you are, or you have a deep amount of confidence, but yet there's a feeling of not being able to move forward. There is Seven of Swords twice in your reading. There is some kind of energy connection that you have in your life with people in your life that are fostering negativity, that may be the source of a lot of your obstacles. You may not be realizing that. And I think if you're resonating with this reading at all, it's going to start to come to light that the source of some of your obstacles, Nine of Wands, despite your honesty, despite your deep creativity and uniqueness and fearlessness, you're not being able to get over some of these obstacles. You're going to find this as a result of some of the connections that you have in your life. There are people, sometimes the connections we have in our lives, right? Say, we kind of make excuses for them. Oh, they're not so bad, I know them for a long time. Yeah. I got used to it. I got used to having it. But they're toxic. And it feels here like this is very much a case, Aquarius, of you maybe having even made excuses, made room, given room to people who are friends, even, who are toxic. And it's going to come out, I think, for some of you. This is a very specific message. It's going to come out for some of you. You're going to find out that they've been, not only have they been toxic and has their effect on your life been more than what you ever expected, but they've been almost actively working to bring obstacles in your way that you knew nothing about. The one thing about Seven of Swords is that it's deeply deceptive. It's oftentimes people who really, it's a long time before you find out that they've lied to you. Maybe somebody you even know for many years, and suddenly you're like, oh my God, they've been lying to me. Oh my God, they're not who they say they are. And oh my God, I can't believe that all this time they've been doing these things, right? That's the feeling here. Very specific message, Aquarius. And it's coming in now because there's, again, as I say, the full moon is the fruition of seeds that have been sown, usually oftentimes in a new moon phase, new moon energy. Somewhere along the line, there was a seed sown in a connection with some of your friends, some of the people in your life, that is now coming to fruit. And that that fruit is showing you something about this connection that I think you may not have known, or you knew, but you didn't know how deeply the impact was. And you're going to see it here. This is a love check-in. And so all I see is obstacles. I see no love connection, no ability even to make a love connection. And so again, as I say, this is a feeling of you coming to terms with the fact that somebody in your life, probably somebody you really care about, has been the source of a lot of your obstacles, even if it's as a case of them talking about you behind your back, setting you up, sabotage. Some of the source can be that sabotage energy that can come in as well. And so this is coming out for you, Aquarius. What can I say? I'm sorry, but this. I want to say I'm happy that it's coming out because it's one of those things. Oftentimes I talk about it in my readings, Aquarius. People oftentimes really don't understand how impactful someone's energy can be when you have them in your lives. And oftentimes you may feel that you're doing a good thing by having them in your lives and being empathetic about someone who is ultimately a very toxic person. Ultimately, you just get, someone who's toxic, they just toxify your life. They just poison your life. Um, they don't stop being toxic because you've made room for them or something like that, or concessions, excuses, you know, and you're not doing a good deed, because they haven't changed. The acceptance of someone who's toxic isn't somehow some great deed, because it doesn't change them, and the only thing that it does is it poisons your life. And so it's one of those things that coming to terms with the fact that this is not this is not good, and this connection has been a source of some real problems. Oftentimes it's a real wake-up call. All right, finally, let's move on to Pisces. I love my Pisces. All right, Pisces. Sorry about the moving camera. I'm gonna fix all that for next time. This is like the first time I did the live stream like this. This is the love check-in. We are now at Pisces, the final sign in the zodiac. So let us see, how has this full moon in Aries affected you, Pisces? What kind of love check-in do you have? I'm going to try to get to all of the signs this week and do a full love reading for all the signs. Hopefully I can do those live as well. Hopefully I can get my good microphone up as well. All of that. But for now, let's check it out. Five of Wands energy. Again, a lot of strife for my collective. Queen of Wands, more fire. Six of Swords, moving away. Wow. All right. We have death again. Scorpio, again showing up. So some of you, big changes, big death, rebirth, a full sort of reinvention of a connection perhaps, or of yourselves. Five of Wands, Queen of Wands, Six of Swords. Pisces, this is a reading for Pisces has moved away, turned their back, yes, completely reinvented themselves as a result of moving away from a relationship. Queen of Wands energy, Five of Wands. This is interesting. There is some arguing, some strife coming your way. It feels to me as though you may have gone through a pretty heavy change recently, Pisces. Really, again, a situation of experience, right? Going through that fire. Queen of Wands is a real sort of tough court card, tough queen. She goes through a lot. She oftentimes goes through really, really difficult situations and experiences that sort of toughen her up, strengthen her, put her through that fire again, another patina on that fire, another layer of depth to who the Queen of Wands is. She is very fearless, very knowledgeable, very experienced. It almost feels like, Pisces, you've been through one of those again. You've been through one of these moments again in your life, one of these times in your life where it's like, yeah, this was difficult. I had to learn something. I learned something and I'm done with it. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to go away now. But there's some strife that's coming. So let's get your clarifiers. There's some strife that's come in. Five of Wands. There's some competition. There are some people in your life, people around you who are fighting, arguing, battling for, attention. They may not be battling you. You may just be witnessing. Let's see what these clarifiers say, because I don't feel you being in that space, Pisces, right now where you don't feel like you got to battle anybody. There's a real strength here I'm feeling from you right now. Seven of Pentacles moved away, King of Wands. Yeah, somebody's battling to be your King of Wands, Queen. That's what it is. And you're watching. You're watching them. And so this is what's coming up for you, Pisces. There are, you may And it almost feels as though you moved away from one situation with that Six of Swords, right? You moved away from one situation or one type of stage in your life that you were at where things were not the way you wanted them in terms of your own self-confidence, your own self-esteem, and the connections, romantic or love connections that you were making. I feel like that Six of Swords, that turning away, that moving, that shift, that direction change that you've made was one away from a type of relationship, a type of love life that you were having, a place that you were at, or a stage that you were at in your life where you were a certain type of person. Not so much as turning away from anyone or running away or leaving, moving away from any one person or specific relationship, but from a type or a time in your life where you're just done with that. You know what I mean? You're done with being that type of person, having that type of connection. That's what I feel in that Six of Swords energy. And so that's why it feels like it's a very heavy queen. Your Queen of Wands has shown up. A very heavy period of, let's move them all over so we have them in, of you kind of resonating up to another level, another stage, another experience, another level of confidence has come in. Expertise and knowledge and wisdom, another layer to your wisdom has come in about who you are and what type of relationships you want. You are fully in your Queen of Wands phase, and you're about to get your king, but there's a lot of posturing. You're giving off vibes, Pisces, as well. If you're resonating with this, you're giving off that vibe. Whenever we resonate up, whenever we have another layer to our experience, we've expanded, or our ego has diminished a bit, our spirit has expanded, our level of experience, our closeness to the fullness of who we are has gotten one notch further, we give off an energy, and it's like, moths to a flame. People are very attracted to it. Right now, you're finding yourself extremely, I want to say, a lot of people attracted to you. A lot of people coming at you. A lot of people looking your way. You just have that zhuzh. You have that energy about you right now. And there's a lot of people competing to be with you. King of Wands coming in. So Pisces, this is an exciting period. This is very new for you, I want to say. This is a new stage, a new vibe that's coming. A bit of fun almost. You may be doing a lot of dating. You may be doing a lot of checking out different different mixes and fits. Does this one fit? Does that one fit? Because you're at a stage as well with that Seven of Pentacles. You're really, there's a feeling of, yes, you've learned something about yourself. You've resonated up. You've gotten to another level of wisdom about yourself and what you want. You're also just kind of ready for a new stage in your life in terms of everything. Money, work, love, everything. And right now, I do feel like you're giving off king-seeking vibes, right? You're giving off the kind of vibes that, listen, anybody who wants to be with me is going to have to be on a certain level. It's going, or I'm good, right? And so people are definitely competing. There are people who, see you, they're attracted to you, they're being drawn in, and they want to fight for it. And so you're just finding yourself in the midst, Five of Wands energy, of a space that you may not have been in before. Or certainly haven't been in for quite a while. Where there's just a lot of people around you right now. But there is one person that's going to show up, and they're going to rise above the crowd as the king. And they're really going to show themselves to be what you desire. What you're ready for as far as a relationship. So this is a really good feeling, Pisces. You're in a good space. You've come from a very, very good place. You're really celebrating who you are right now. But for you, your love check-in is that there's a King of Wands that is rising to the top of a lot of suitors that are around you right now. And they're going to make themselves known. All right, everyone. This is it for the love check-in, the Zodiac love check-in. We finished on Pisces as we always do. I'm going to go ahead and switch out of this too. Let's get over to the full. And that's it. This was it. Thank you so much, everybody. I just want to say, let me get my thing up so I can see. I just want to say thank you for tuning in. This is a very different reading than what you're going to see on my channel. Those of you who are regulars, you know that I normally don't go live like this. But this is something new that I want to do. We're coming into fall and winter and that kind of cozy period. I want to do more lives. I will be going live this week, mostly always around 8:30 evening time. So if you want to check in, you want to check out what's going on, what the live readings are all about. This week I will be doing the Zodiac love readings that I used to do. We'll be bringing that back. And then of course I will be coming back with a new pick a card, and I'll probably be doing that on Saturday. But do check out my channel, check out my library of pick a cards from all of my series. The episodes are there. One may resonate. And don't forget as well, I'm going to put up the 20% code for Otter Spirit. These are the bracelets. These beautiful bracelets. I love them. And I'm going to be doing more videos on these bracelets, showing them up close. But they're just so beautiful. They have a Mystic Halloween set and really just not that expensive at all. And then also the 30% off Otter Spirit Bow and Arrow Tarot 30 if you order more than $99. And those of you who know me, you know I don't usually do any of that kind of thing because... And that's my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. If you want to get a private reading or you want to get your love compatibility score, I'm going to talk more about that in my other readings. But as I said, a lot of you know I don't really do affiliate, offers or promotions. But this company, Otter Spirit, I love them so much. They're an American company, a family company, very, very well, reasonably priced. Beautiful bracelets, and I really legitimately wear these bracelets all the time. So that's it. Now, if you want to check out bowandarrowtarot.com, please go to my website. Check out my blogs there. Also, you can order your private readings. You can also order your charts on there, as well as your numerology compatibility profile. And that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I wish you all love, life, and happiness. Please do sound off in the comments what you think about this live setup. And what do you think? What ideas you might have? If there's other messages or questions you'd like for me to take a look at, going through all signs. But for right now, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening, rest of your week, and I hope to see you right back here on Bow and Arrow Tarot. Bye-bye, everyone.